Okay, moving on, trying to get this retaining pad, for want of a better word, to retain itself so that I can retain the Furflex in it. Some screws, bit of glue and some bulldog clips, and we are going good. Let's move to the back so we can show you some of this. And as you can see, there's glue. Oops, hang on a second. With a bit of tape and some glue. We're getting there. Sorry, that picture's a little on the dark side, isn't it? But oh well, never mind. Come over to the dark side. Bet you don't know what movie that's from. If not, then you must have been asleep for the last God knows how many years. Anyway, there you go. That's that. Now let's move on to the next project. Well, I got sidetracked, haven't I? These two hoses. This is where it's essential you hang on to shit. This one. Look at this. Now that rubber is pretty hard, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to make that softer. I bet you can't buy these things, and it's the same on this one. Put some tape around there for some reason, and then again the same here. So I'm going to have to clean this up and see what I can use to soften up this rubber. I may just soak it in oil, that quite often works, but first I want to clean off this stuff. These two go, let me show you, let me take you for a walk. Walk this way, top this way. They go there, in these holes. That hole there and that hole there. And they feed the vents. Yep, that one up there, oops, zip. That one up there, so I'm going to connect it onto there. And the other one on the driver's side. That one won't be so much fun to do. Looks like I've got holes for it to feed through. I'm certainly going to hold this side. Can you see up there? Can you see the hole? Right. Let me fingers coming through there. That's where the pipe goes through. And then the rest of the route is just up behind the enormous gaps on the other side. Wow. That's going to be fun to get in. Yes, sirree, Bob. Yeah. Okay. Let's get them cleaned up. Okay, let's see how crazy I am. I have cleaned it up, and now I'm putting it in oil. And let's see how it goes after an hour or so. Okay, here it is. Left turn. Right turn. How about that? I got them in the right way. Overdrive one doesn't work yet. That's next. Okay, folks. I have dipped them in oil. We will see if it works. I'm just letting it soak in. In fact, I'm probably going to let it soak in overnight. And then I'll wipe it with a rag in the morning. And then see if I can fit them. These are just purely for the screen ventilation. I guess we'll see. Now, I've been looking at the interior foams that I have, and whilst I know we're not looking at them, they're just pieces of foam. They're not the moulded ones. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I didn't pay attention to it before. So I'm going to have to get myself a hot knife to, get the sharp edges off. as it happens, Harbour Freight has one. They also have a cordless staple gun, which I need to fit the Furflex. So these are all things I'm going to have to buy. It's awful, isn't it? I'm going to have to go to Harbour Freight and buy them. Oh well, never mind. I'll force myself. Right, now let's leave these alone. What else did we have to show? Nothing at the moment. Let me figure something out. Okay, we're moving on to something else to do with the interior. These are the rear lights, but it requires a couple of wooden rings. As you can see, there ain't much left of this ring, and the same applies on the other side. I do have the Baltic ply, so now my challenge is to remove these shards, take a measurement, and then mark it out and cut it. Let's get on with it. Well, that is all I managed to retrieve. Not a lot, huh? The only thing that this will be useful for is to get the width that I require. Most of this is just total crap. There seems to be a flat edge there. I'm not going to worry about that initially. I'm just going to make a big circle, and that circle should be 3 5/8. This is the Baltic ply. I'm hoping that once I cut it out it'll be a little flatter because it's a big sheet and it's kind of bouncy. Alright, let's see what I can find that is 3 5/8 in diameter. Okay, I found something that was the exact diameter that I needed. Yes, I know, if I had my geometry set that I passed all my exams with in school, it would have been very simple. But I don't. And I'm not going to go and buy some when I can walk around my shop and find shit that's the right size. So this is what I now have to cut out. That's going to be fun. We'll see if it works out right or wrong. And I did just use these little broken pieces and kind of held them in there and drew what I figured was the correct line. There we go. Once I've done it, then I may treat them with something. Maybe soak them in a varnish or something. Not because they all look pretty, but to preserve them and stop them from getting brittle. Alright, next is to chop them out. That isn't going to be this video because I'm going to end this one right now. It's a very short video. It's 3:30. I'm going to wrap this one up and I'm going to sit down and relax. So you get a very short video and I get to drink a glass of wine. Somewhere there. There it is. Yes, it's full of ice. Alright, I started on these and thought I'll just chuck them in at the end of the video. As you can see, they're roughly cut. I intend to finish them off neatly with a plane or a file or a grinder or something. Not sure yet what. Cut them out with this. My metal air tool. Worked really good. And then this one here, that I will use to cut out the inside. Probably. I say probably, we'll see. Again, Harbour Freight. I think that was $20, and that was probably about 18 or 19. It wasn't expensive. So, you know, those of you that sit out there go, "Ooh, I've never bought from Harbour Freight." Oh, gosh, no. You're a moron. There's some good tools at Harbour Freight. No, they're not the best fucking quality. But if they do the job, and then you throw them away, what the hell does it matter? Or if they do the job and do like I do, I put them on Craigslist and get them sold for a few bucks. This thing here, this compressor, yeah, that cost me over $600, I think. But that's been banging away for about 8 years now. And, you know, regularly maintained. I put good oil in it. I drain the tank every now and then. Yeah. Don't fucking knock it, boys. I buy snap-on wrenches. I would not use anything else if I have the choice. Why? Because they're the best. But when it comes to tools like this, you don't need snap-on or, I don't know, Mac or, I can't even think of MKII and any of those. Doesn't matter. You got to use what you need and be selective. If you decide you're going to, oh, sorry, why is that viewing me? Don't look at me. Sorry, that fucked around. You've got to choose the tool for the job. And a precision tool from Harbor Freight, probably not a good idea. Lights, magnetic lights, like that thing there. There. All right, $25, depending on what time of year. It's worth it. They're great. Anyway, right, enough of my silly rant. This is just going to go now and show it on the end of the video. Get out of that garage, go do some shit. I'm going to.